We all know Henry VIII, the fat guy, sleazeball, possibly bald English king that is most famous for the only thing he ever did, which is chopping off the heads of his wives and anyone who called him fat. But you'd be surprised just how many competent things Henry VIII did, like modernizing British healthcare and education. However, the thing that is most glossed over about Fat Boy Henry is that he founded the British Empire. That's right, this guy, one of the most hated kings in British history, founded one of the most hated periods in British history. Who could have seen that coming? You see, most people think that the British Empire was founded by this guy, James I, since it was during his reign that the first permanent settlements in the Americas were made. But this is actually wrong, and I'm gonna explain why. But first, let's define an empire. An empire is a sovereign state made up of several different territories, states, peoples of different cultures, religions, all ruled separately under a central government. An empire doesn't need to have an emperor, just like a republic doesn't need to have a president. So keeping this in mind, you also need to know that most of the good things that Henry did, he didn't do out of the goodness of his heart. Try to act surprised. He did most of them to facilitate the full break of England from the Catholic Church. In this case, the King of England always had the title Lord of Ireland. However, this title was a church title granted to him by the Pope. So when Henry severed all ties with the Catholic Church, he lost the title Lord of Ireland. So he decided he was just gonna conquer Ireland, which he almost succeeded in doing. Well, not really. He took up most of the island, but he didn't really have full control of them. He had control of them in name only. The nobles swore loyalty to him, but they didn't really mean it. It was mostly lip service. But he still had control of enough of the island to officially name himself King of Ireland, and such title actually meant something. After this, he declared that England and all its territories were an empire under one sovereign ruler, him, though the rulers of England will still use the title king rather than emperor. So with Henry VIII's conquest of Ireland and him naming himself King of Ireland and then declaring England an empire, it wasn't just in name only, since the Irish were different people with different culture ruled separately by Henry. Technically, you can say that England also at this point fit the definition of an empire. So that's it. That's how Henry VIII founded the British Empire. It's kind of underwhelming since, before researching this video, I always thought the British Empire was founded basically with the British conquest of the Americas. But it turns out that's not true. It was just some fat guy who declared himself and his country an empire. Oh God. Whatever, man. I'm tired. Please, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'll be, I don't know. Jesus.